Hello students. So we are going to discuss in today's session regarding the point that is lab to practical. Okay, now what exactly we are talking about here is the components which you had studied. Okay, the components which you had studied towards the HDFS. Okay, then towards the MapReduce, all those things will be understood in detail here. Well, how? We are trying to understand the file management, how exactly it happens is HDFS part of it. So I'll be going through a set of commands. Okay, so you can see here already I have opened up a particular Hadoop version which has been installed successfully, Hadoop 2.8.0. Yes, so we have the details which are mentioned here. Okay, so we are trying to use this command. So this command was run using the following concept with the jar file and all those things will be displayed. So it tells you that clearly Hadoop has been installed successfully and you can go ahead with the next process. Okay, so basically in this particular practical part of or the lab term work, we are going to discuss is how exactly you are trying to work with the HDFS part of it. Okay, because if you want to have any particular data to be taken care, you have to work with the command line interface. Okay, so using the commands, you are trying to get in touch into that. You are trying to have a lot of interaction with it. Okay, so I'll be discussing each commands. Of course, there are 8 to 10 commands which I'll be discussing in the whole session today. Okay, so these commands you need to practice and understand how exactly we are trying to communicate with HDFS. Okay, so basically there are two things which you need to understand here. First is there is a local host. Okay, that is what you are talking about when we can use a graphical user interface and check out those stuff. Okay, using 570. Okay, 50070 is the one which will help you to see that. Okay, so that was the point which you had to work out with the installation itself and then looking into that. Now here we will be having a local drive which is on the system and the HDFS. So if you want to work with any of the files, you need to check whether those files are present in the HDFS. Okay, so what happens if they're not present? You can place them. Okay, so when you want to place it, of course you need to create a directory. In that directory you'll be creating a folder, you'll be creating a text file and you'll be working on it. Yes, so that would be a very common Unix based concept. Okay, now we are using similar commands on Windows here, but we are using the Windows 10 and trying to perform on that. So Windows 10, on that we'll be finding out how exactly the file handling system are being taken care. Okay, so we'll just find out each of them one by one. So as you can see here, we are talking about those stuff. So let's start with the point, that is I'll type here. So the first set of points which you need to look out here is to create a directory in HDFS at given path. Okay, so we'll just go ahead with that. So you can see there the mouse, I'm just trying to tell you that which all things are being taken care, what all these particular things mean. Okay, that is Hadoop 2.8.0, then the subversion, all these details have to be displayed when you are trying to work with the Hadoop. Okay, so once you work with these, of course you can work out with one more concept, that if you want you can work with the following, that is Ubuntu, or on Unix also you can work with that. So let's start with the first. So when I work with the start all command, okay, so what happens when I open this? Okay, so basically what happens here is you can see a set of windows. Okay, so CD and CD Hadoop has been start hyphen. So when I do that, You can see? Yes. So each and every window which is opened after I start with the start all command, the first one is the name node. Okay. So this is the first one which has to be running background. Then we have the next, that is the data node, which has to be run at the background. After that we have yarn node manager, and the last one is yarn resource manager. Well, why all these four windows are important to run? Because we told you about how exactly the Hadoop works, how exactly the MapReduce is working. Okay, we're talking about the yarn concept also. Okay, so you can refer the videos which are reflecting these points and understand what exactly you're trying to work with it. So the main idea to show you this was to make you understand how exactly the four windows which we open, okay, these are the nodes which are running at the background. The name node, the data node, okay, the yarn node manager and resource manager. All these are helping us to perform, okay, with respect to the particular operations, task, okay, and with respect to a specific task. Okay, and one more thing here is, we are talking about large data set. That is the reason why we are using this. Okay, won't be able to work on any simple particular concept, that is what you can say the RDBMS concept, because we are not handling here only a structured data. We are handling here unstructured and semi-structured data. Okay, so before we start with the set of commands, I would like to make a very brief idea, or I want to give a brief idea about big data, how exactly you have to understand it. Okay, let us consider that suppose in a kitchen, okay, the sink has a tap. The tap is working fine, no problem, but after a few while you see that the tap is leaking. Okay, so what happens? You try to work out on your own, you try to perform, you try to work on your own and try to get the things done. Okay, you might use some particular ideas and try to block it. Okay, the leak, you want to stop the leakage. Fine, after a few minutes you see that the particular leakage has just gone more. Okay, it has burst into a particular spring and the water is oozing out. Now what happens? You have to call a plumber. Fine, you call a plumber, you start working on it. Okay, he does the work and he goes. After few hours, you see that the pipe has broken. Okay, you can just imagine what I'm talking about. So the pipe has broken, the water has started coming out. Okay, now what happens? In that case, you need not call a plumber to work on it, right? Because the meantime he comes, what would happen? Your house will be flooded with water. Yes? So what is the point here I'm trying to tell you? Basically, we are talking about the unstructured way of water which was just oozing out, right? So if you want to work with those particular situations, what should be the approach? So I gave you the problem here, saying that how a water leakage which was what you can say tip by tip, okay, it went on to become a small spring and then it became a flooding. Yes? So when you are talking about such a huge amount of water, such a huge amount of data which is getting poured out into the world, how are you going to manage it? Well, you need to work out with the big data concepts, right? So that is how we are talking about here. And so with this brief part, I would move on to the next now. That is, we'll check out the next set of so the script is depreciated, instead use. So this is just a statement you get. After you get that, we'll start with the first. Let us start with the first command, that is mkdir. Okay. So before that, we have to just check the detail, that is JPS. So JPS will provide you the details, that is Java process system or status, which will give you the details of the IDs of each and every node, that is name, data, node manager, resource manager. Next, this is the thing you have to work with it, that is Hadoop fs-ls. So when I do this, okay, with this particular command, you might see it in Unix command also, right? So we'll be using similar kind of commands. So when I do this particular command, what exactly happens? hyphen ls slash. So these are the particular set of directories which are present in the HDFS. Okay, we are using the command Hadoop fs-ls. These are the particular points you need to make a note. So we have 4. So we have certain points there. You can see dr, wx, rx. Those are admin supergroup is the name, and the other stuff when it was created, the date and time. Okay. So you need to just understand what exactly these particular things mean. So we'll start with the first what you can say, how to create a directory. Okay, so we can write down it on the C itself, C drive. No need to perform it under the sbin. Sbin is just used to start all the commands. After that, just be using the set of commands just to work with the HDFS part. Okay, so here I write down Hadoop fs-mkdir. Okay, and I'll give the name of the directory which you want to create. So let us have that syntax here. It says that slash lab2 slash and then enter. So I get C colon, okay, the drive. So what it means? So the directory is created successfully. So what I need to do is just work with the ls. ls command will help me to find it. So what you can see here, it was only 4, now there are 5. Okay, so this is what you have to check. Okay, so this was the first particular command, that is hyphen mkdir, that is make directory. Okay, so this was the first command which you need to perform. Okay, now once we are done with this, of course we'll be finding out the next command is listing, that is ls itself. Okay, so when you type ls and you find it, obviously that was the second command which you had to work with it. Now once we are done with this particular point of view, we need to understand how to create and upload a file in HDFS. Okay, so if you want to create and upload a file in HDFS, you have to perform this particular step. Okay, so Hadoop fs hyphen put. Okay, so you are copying a single source file or multi-source files from local file system to Hadoop data file system, HDFS. This is the particular step you need to perform. Otherwise, HDFS will not be having the file on its own. Okay, you need to transfer the particular file. So I'll write down Hadoop fs hyphen put. Once I do this, I will give the particular name. Okay, so what should be the particular here? It should be a C colon. So I've created a similar kind of folder in local system, that is lab2. From there's another file. In that lab2 there is a file that is sample.txt. There's a text file. Okay, I will be transferring that, copying that file from there. So sample.txt space. Okay, there is a space. After the space, I will be typing the following directory. Okay, so space slash lab2. This is the particular command. Okay, so after that slash again enter. Once I enter, you can just see there, I should get the C tag again, C colon, I found it, so it's working. So list again. Once I list, I'll come to know whether it is properly copied or transferred to that particular drive. Okay, so lab2 is the particular, yes. So once I do it, you can find what is here, lab2 sample.txt. That is what is the particular point to be noted. Okay, so this is what is the third particular command where you are trying to work with the transferring, that is copying a particular file from local system to HDFS. Now, I will create another details, that is there is an input directory. In this I want to show you what all files are being present. Okay, we have created previously input directory file directory. So you can see here in input directory you can find so many files which are present in it. We have file 1, file 2, input file, input underscore file 1. These are all the files which have been created. Okay, so this is already present in the HDFS and available. Okay, now once you do this, we suppose you want to get the details or files from to the local system from HDFS. So you want to find the local systems, which are the files from the HDFS you want to pick it up. Okay, for that we'll be using a particular so we'll be having here Hadoop FS-get. This is the command which will be used to download files to a local file system. Well, when you are doing that, you have to create initially, okay, you have to create initially, or I can say manually, a folder in which you want to place it, not directly in the drive. You can have a folder in which you can place it. Okay, that's what we have done. You can try it out with the drive itself. Okay, so we have this particular input underscore directory, then we have file star.txt. So all these files which you can see here, file 1, 2, both these files can be downloaded, what you can say, or you are trying to get it from the HDFS to the local system. So slash, of course we'll be having file.txt space /c :/lab2 slash, and you have to just work with the enter button. Okay, so once I enter, what happens? Yes, so already the file was created, so you should, if it is created, you'll get file exist. Okay, else you'll get just a C:. You have to go to the C drive. In that you have to check what is the file which has been downloaded or bought from the HDFS to the local system. Okay, so that was the particular point which you have to check, that is regarding the file 1, file 2 which have been copied from the or downloaded from the HDFS to the local system. Okay, now why these things happen? Because HDFS is a cluster, single node cluster, or single node what you can say, a server kind of thing which has been placed. From there you are trying to create, so it's been separated, right? So you are trying to pick up from there and place it into local file system. Now the next one is to see the contents of the HDFS file. So we created the directory, we created the files. Now we need to find out, right, what does it consist of, what are the contents in that file. So I'll be typing Hadoop FS-cat. Okay, so after that slash space /lab2, then again slash, we'll be having a particular sample.txt file. So I've created sample.txt in the lab2 folder. You just find out what are the contents in that. So enter. So once I enter, I should be able to find out the contents. Well, here we have welcome to experiment 2, end of line, end of line, end of line. So I've just created a rough text file, sample file, in which these are the contents which have to be. So this particular command is to work with the contents of the file. Okay, now we have another command basically which will help us to copy a file from source to destination, that is the CP. Okay, so basically when we use this CP command, we are talking about the source and destination, and we are talking about these particular points in which the transfer takes place. So Hadoop FS-CP. Okay, so you'll be having a particular source, that is the input directory, input file.txt space /lab2 slash. So what happens here, the source is, that is the HDFS file. Okay, and from the HDFS file, the destination is the lab2, okay, in HDFS, which you are trying to post it. Okay, so what is happening in HDFS? You are talking to copy the files from a particular source to another, in HDFS itself. Okay, so lab2 we get semicolon again. So what is the next point you need to work with? I have to just check ls, list the contents and find out whether it has copied or not. So ls lab2, let's find out what is the, so earlier what was there in lab2? In lab2 we had only sample.txt. Okay, so we have copied another text file, that is input underscore file. So I should be getting two files now, sample.txt and as well as input underscore file.txt. These are the two files which have to be seen or visible to us. So yes, we can see that the input file.txt is available. Okay, so this is what is the point to be noted. So we get two files. This is how the sixth command you have to work out with. Okay, now after this we will work with another point, that is similar to get command. We have another similar command towards that, that is copy from local. So copy a file from local file system to HDFS. Okay, so how we did it with the get command, we'll try to work out with the same, except that the destination is restricted to a local file system only. Okay, not to any, not between the HDFS, not within the HDFS. It is only with the particular HDFS and to the local file. So Hadoop FS hyphen copy from local. So please check the case sensitivity. Okay, copy from local will be getting the, so copy from local C colon word. I have created another in.txt. Slash lab2. Then after that, what should happen? So this is what our destination will be in the HDFS only, not within that. Okay, so from a local to the, yes. So what has happened here? Initially we had sample, we had input underscore file, now we have in.txt also. Okay, but we are using a copy from local, and that is the source and the destination. Okay, so the destination is towards the HDFS. Okay, not within the local system or neither within the HDFS. It is from local to HDFS. That is a particular specific function which is used there. Okay, so that was, so if I'm using du, I'll be finding out the number of that is the aggregate length. Okay, so I'll be able to tell you what is the length of a file. Yes, so du is used for using the aggregate length. Okay, please note it is used for aggregate length of a file to be identified. So I'll be using lab2 sample.txt. This particular command will tell me 102. So 102 is the length of a file. That is the point you have to make a note of. Okay, so with this respect, you can just check -du is the command. -du is the command which is used to find the aggregate length of a file, and I'm using here -du for lab2 /sample.txt. The sample.txt is the file which will help us to pick up the aggregate length. So it generates the, so what is the return? Okay, it returns an integer value. Okay, it's 102. 102 is the length of the file. You can see that. Okay, next we'll just work out with the, if I want to find out the last few lines of a file. So what we can do there, I'll show you another particular file in which we'll just find the aggregate length of it. So in input file we have underscore file, we have almost 1888. That is the length of a input underscore file.txt. Okay, so with that we'll just find out, so this is the 8th command. So next we'll just find out Hadoop fs hyphen the contents of a file. Okay, so we'll just check. So lab 2, I'll check input underscore file.txt. What are the contents of this particular file? So you can see here we have numbers. Yes, so we have numbers all the way from here to here. So all these are the numbers which have been stored on that text file. Okay, now if I want to check, if I want to find only the last few lines, suppose I want to find only these set of lines to be displayed. Okay, so I'll be using a particular command, that is Hadoop fs hyphen tail. So you'll find only the last few lines to be displayed on the screen. Okay, so input I first now. So enter. So after enter it, yeah, so you can see only part of it has been displayed. Okay, so this is what is the particular set of details which were taken care. Okay, now we are not displaying all the set, we are just displaying only few of it. Okay, so that is the point to be taken care. So when I am using hyphen tail, so what happens, only a few last few lines will be displayed in this particular format. This is what happens with the particular tail command. Okay, so this was the 9th command which you had to work out with this. So after this there will be a last command. Basically we'll be working with the RM. Okay, so this is what is the point to be taken care. All these 10 commands you can practice and work out. Okay, so the data what you have entered here is just rough data. Okay, it's not that a particular data, you're just copy pasting that. Okay, now the last command to be taken care of, that is Hadoop fs So you can see here Hadoop fs hyphen rm lab 2 input underscore file.txt is the file. This particular file is deleted by using the particular command, that is hyphen rm. Okay, so this will help you to remove the file from particular folder lab 2 in HDFS. Okay, that is what is the point to be taken care. Okay, now so you can see the contents of that. We do not have that particular file, that is input underscore file.txt is been deleted. So we get only sample and in.txt which is present in it. Okay, so this is what happens with the following part. So there's one more thing. So you can just see here the last line, that is Hadoop fs hyphen rm space hyphen r space slash lab 2. When you write down this particular command, it deletes the particular drive itself. Okay, so deleted slash lab 2, that is the directory which is being created. Okay, so if you want to delete the directory in a recursive manner, okay, in case when I say that there is a folder, there is a directory, below that there are files. Okay, if you want to delete all of them, you have to use hyphen rm space hyphen r. Recursively it will delete all the files and the directory in it. Okay, so these are the set of commands which are to be taken care. So Hadoop fs -rm-r/lab2, that is what is the point to be taken care. Okay, now these are the set of commands which you need to work out with the Hadoop commands. That is to work out with the file management concept, how exactly it works, what all things have to be taken care, and how exactly the practical things work out. You need to practice and learn. If any queries, well, you can ask me, message or post it on the Google Classroom or WhatsApp. Thank you.